Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mario here once again, and I'm Luigi here. We are back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario Kart Double Dash for the Nintendo GameCube. So last time we have basically just managed to accomplish the Mushroom Cup and Flower Cup in both 50cc class. And today for this episode is the fact that we're about to be moving on to the next two cups, which are the Star Cup and the Special Cup, to able to actually just to continue things on 50cc. And this time around though, we are playing as the two princesses, both Princess Peach and Princess Daisy. So either way though, let us begin the Star Cup. And to begin with, let's head on to Sherbet Land. And if you're following through our Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you notice about the fact that this particular stage will bring back in Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, if you want to count that as a port to the game. So, but obviously it's the fact that we pretty much used to with Mario Kart 8 version of this stage. It's most likely because of the fact that normally that there's actually alternative path by simply able to take the underwater path. That way you would be able to actually keep on continuing throughout the track. Well, if you somehow turned out to be more accurately though, Luigi, is the fact that if you somehow fell into the water, then otherwise we'll go and just, be frozen for a few seconds worth noting for. Yeah, it might be seems a little bit obvious for that point, Mario. It might be seems pretty obvious for that specific stimulation, so... Anyway, today's day is the forms of the 7th of October today, in this case in 2020. Something's worth mentioning for the sake of clarity is the fact that recently Mario Party Star Rush has been came out for about 4 years ago now. Yeah, it seems kind of thing about it, at least to be more specifically, the UK version that we've talked about, because unlike the Japanese release will be later on until 20th of October, and then in North America doesn't get it until the November the 4th, so it might be seems a little bit later from never, but I digress. So yeah, there's not much else I can say honestly, because either way though, it's just that I can't even believe that Mario Party Star Rush is now 4 years old. I'm guessing you only needs its next is of course until when it gets to next month, it will be until November, where basically Mario Party the Top 100 will be about 3 years old. Well, to be more specifically in North America. So either way though, I can't even believe the time itself just went flying by. And also as you can see, we did somehow overlapped Baby Mario and Baby Luigi at the same time. So because of that though, we just feel like we're trying to be the fastest here, so... And obviously this special item for Peach and Daisy was pretty obvious, is the actual heart shield, which basically this allows you to able to get protected by any incoming items, as far as you guys should probably already know. Yeah, it might be seems a little bit obvious for that specific standpoint worth noting for, but anyways, let's move on to the next course. And the next course we have is Mushroom City, where, unlike any other tracks, excluding the other 3 tracks which we'll get into later on throughout this episode, Mushroom City for some reason never brought back, which I'm not exactly sure why they never bring Mushroom City back to the any other Mario Kart games, because, well, usually relatively speaking, I don't mind about this track at all, but I'm guessing it's probably because in Mario Kart Wii, that obviously instead of getting ourselves Mushroom City, instead we got ourselves Moonview Highway, which is kind of like the similar thing for this, except otherwise that we got ourselves a trick system or something like that. Yeah, it seems to be more convenient enough though, is the fact that, well, obviously this track is basically like a spiritual sequel to Mushroom Bridge, except the noticeable difference between, Mushroom Bridge compared to Mushroom City is the fact that it's pretty obvious, is the fact that in Mushroom Bridge mostly takes place in the actual bridge, and also in Mushroom City, as you can tell, we're going to be driving through the outskirts of the city. Well, to be more specifically, the Mushroom City itself. And also that in Mushroom Bridge it's all in daytime, and in Mushroom City it's all about, well, nighttime, as you can see on that particular point worth noting for. However though, there's actually a cool thing about the forms of, well, we'll talk more about it whenever we get on to let's just say the final track in the game, even though despite the fact that the entire Let's Play of this game wasn't exactly over yet though, just because, well, we might as well able to go through the Super Mario Kart route by simply able to actually go through all few of those cups. Well, I'll point it out whenever we get on to the next few updates, whenever we get on to later. But for now on though, we'll just pick up a Starman, thanks to the forms of one of those players managed able to drop that by complete accident. I'm guessing it's likely the lightning or something, so yeah, I think I'm probably thinking of the same thing for this point, Mario. I was thinking of the same thing too. So yeah, remember how the fact that as far as what Duffy has already mentioned about loads of stuff ever since in his Let's Play of Mario Party, basically he did mention about the forms of the PlayStation 5 stuff, and seems to be more specifically, for those of you able to notice, is the fact that we've only got about a month left until not only the PlayStation 5 is going to release, but also the Xbox Series X as well as Series S. Well, to be more specifically, it's like the S version is like a digital version of the Series X, and then Series X is more accurately a combination of both, digital and physical-wise or something. So, yeah, I thought I digressed though, Luigi, but either way though, it's the fact that there are some other games that's been just recently listed for PlayStation 5, which there are Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, as well as Just Dance 2021, and also Watch Dogs Legion, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I think that's the only update on the PlayStation 5 software as far as I'm concerned. But even then, though, there might be still more on the way, especially noticeable until when it gets to the point until 2021. But either way, though, enough about that. The next course we're going to be running to is Yoshi Circuit. And for those of you who ever followed our Let's Play of, you know, specifically Mario Kart DS, as well as Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you do notice is the fact that this track did manage to make a comeback for about 3 times, which is one of them is on Mario Kart DS on the forms of, well, to be more specifically, in Lightning Cup, and during the forms of Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in the DLC Cups. That's it was actually on the Egg Cup, and recently Mario Kart Tour has recently managed to bring that particular course back. Which, I'm sure that we've already noticing this already from the start, despite the fact that we still managed to able to give up on Mario Kart Tour, because at the end of the day, I just don't feel like trying to able to come back into that game over again, just because it's going to be filled to the brim with like, not only is it going to be filled to the brim with microtransactions all over again, but it's also the fact that our phone just keep on crashing the game, which as a result, it might be something to do with the downgraded phone that we still managed to got, even compared to the actual highly processor, you know, iPhone 11 Pro or something. Even though, Luigi, it might be still a little bit pricey though, I think, so either way though. And, I suppose there's another thing we forgot to say, is the fact that, you know, with the forms of, Sherbet Land that we've already did manage to able to race through, obviously that makes a comeback in Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That will obviously originated from the forms of the Leaf Cup, well, to be more specifically, in Sherbet Land for Mario Kart Double Dash in specific or something. So either way though, we'll just go ahead and keep a hold of that green shell in case if there are some red shells to be signed around here. Even then though, Mario, it was only in 50cc, so there's nothing right to home about, even for trying to worry about, you know, anything else in between. So even then though, you don't have to at least try to worry about that specific stuff for this matter. I suppose you might be true for that regard for this point, so yeah, anyway, aside from all that stuff though, is the fact that, that's as far as we can able to discuss upon, I'm afraid. Apart from the fact that, well, until eventually when we get to the point until this Saturday, there won't be any video game uploads for this point, because we're about to be able to celebrate something special, which we'll probably talk more about it until whenever we get on to the forms of, until on 10th of October, which I'm sure most bronies out there, even especially noticeable for the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fans out there, will expect to notice what's going to be coming, that, well, we'll point it out until when we get on to, on Saturday the 10th of October, specifically for the sake of this year. So yeah, that'll be pretty exciting, especially noticeable how the fact that we'd like to do something a little bit different for a change. But either way though, enough about that. Now let's move on to the final track in the Star Cup, and that's what appears to be DK Mountain. And this track will obviously make its return during the forms of Mario Kart Wii in the Lightning Cup, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, this stage is really fun, especially noticeable how the fact that you can able to actually just to start things off by able to actually hop over to that particular cannon that you can able to actually simply just have a nice little blast off, and that way you would be able to reach onto that particular mountain volcano eruption or something. And then obviously, unlike in Mario Kart Wii, there aren't any trick ramps to be found around here. And also, there's also another difference between the Mario Kart Wii version of this particular stage than the likes of how it does it in here, is the fact that, well, you'll see why whenever we're able to come across into that. Well, you still need to avoid those little boulders everywhere. Okay, this is the part that's usually different. This part right there is actually a little bit trickier to avoid, unlike the ones and how it does it in Mario Kart Wii. Because in Mario Kart Wii, they managed to make it a little bit easier for yourself. But the forms of this version in particular is the fact that it makes things a little bit harder for us to able to actually just try to avoid that particular bottomless pit down below, even for that massive crack on that particular path of the road. But I digress. And yeah, that's as far as I can usually just try to discuss upon for the actual news and discussions, I'm afraid, guys. It's just the fact of the matter is, though, is that, well, we've only got about a month left until, specifically, more things to come, likely for the PlayStation 5, as well as, you know, Xbox Series S/Series X in between. And also, another thing is worth noting for this point too, is the fact the matter is, though, is the fact that I'm pretty sure we've only got about 9 more days left, or somewhat lesser than that actually, until the new Mario Kart game is about to come out, which is specifically Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. Despite it was not the main game, I have to be honest here, it's just the fact the matter is, though, is the fact that it kind of reminds me of that particular, well, I don't know how to truly explain about this, but you can able to customize your very own track in home, which I think is actually pretty cool in concept. However though, I really can't guarantee about the fact that I really can't guarantee we can able to actually see a lot of playable characters. Well, apart from the fact that it's just us as playing. Yeah, both me and Luigi are the only playable characters in that game, along with the non-playable characters, which appears to be Bowser Jr. as well as the rest of the Koopalings. I'm not exactly sure if Bowser will be involved, but either way though, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Oh no! I somehow accidentally got hit by a lot of items laying on the road, or on the actual floor even. But regardless of anything else though, Mario, is the fact that we're pretty sure we pretty much dominated for this entire race. Yeah, even especially noticeable that this was still in 50cc after all. Don't worry folks, we'll get into 100cc eventually. Especially noticeable how the fact that, actually kind of think about it though, Mario. Oh, what's that, Luigi? We might able to actually do one of the videos during at some point in this Sunday. Oh yeah, that could be part of a plan, right? Especially noticeable how the fact that, well, after all, that, you know, Daffy has recently finished his Let's Play of, you know, Mario Party 1. And we figure we might as well able to actually do one of the parts in the sake of this particular game. More likely All Cup Tour, specifically 50cc or something. Well, we'll see what happens there, Luigi. We'll have to wait and see. Especially noticeable how the fact that, well, still, we've only just barely got started with this particular Let's Play itself, along with Sonic who's recently continued things on with his Let's Play of, you know, Super Monkey Ball Touch and Roll recently, during the forms of the emulator. Even though originally we weren't going to do that game on the actual DSi XL hardware with the actual camera recording, but it's not going to happen. So anyway, so now we're done with the Star Cup in the 50cc class. Now let's move on to the Special Cup, the glorious of all things. So to begin with, here's probably is one of the best courses in the game, which appears to be Wario Colosseum. Now, the reason why this particular track is usually becomes a fan favorite of ours, even especially noticeable how the fact that what makes this course a lot more fun is the fact that, first of all, it is way huge, and also if you couldn't tell from that laps counter, it actually says 2 laps as opposed to 3 laps. The reason why this is happening is because this stage is actually probably the most hugest racetracks in the whole entire game. Because obviously we're going to be taking place in the actual Colosseum itself, and here we can able to actually just drift along curves, as well as a lot of things to be more likely decisive with. And overall, this track is so amazing. Obviously, they reuse the actual music from the likes of Waluigi Stadium, which reminds me, why can't this stage will make a comeback in Mario Kart 8, or specifically Mario, imagine how the fact that if Mario Kart 9 was a thing, and then they obviously bring that stage back into its glorious HD makeover. Imagine that, however, though, Mario. But either way, though, we've only just got Mario Kart Live Home Circuit at the moment, so either way, though, that's usually is how it goes, basically. You know what that game reminds me of something, Luigi? Oh, what's that? It kind of reminds me of the Mario Kart Arcade GP VR, you know, the virtual reality thing? Oh yeah, that's the one. And basically, usually it only plays a certain amount of characters to able to actually begin a race. Like, obviously in Mario Kart Arcade GP VR, in this case virtual reality, basically it's the fact that you can only play as 4 characters, which there are Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi. You know, kind of like the similar thing from Mario Party events, right? Well, let's not talk about this, Luigi, because, well, we are actually talking about Mario Kart as opposed to Mario Party, because usually, relatively speaking, also until next month, Sylvester will eventually go on to Mario Party 2, doing at some point next month. So even then, well, it's hard to... Sorry, I really do sorry about this point, folks, but, because I just keep on stuttering around like a, well, SpaghettiOs or something like that, which I have no idea why I'm really saying this, because, well, there's not much else I could talk about, because, well, we've already discussed upon a lot of things, and all that stuff, though, well, aside from the actual, oh yeah, and the only 2 playable characters in that game in Mario Kart Arcade GP VR, which appears to be, well, 2 non-playable characters, which there are Wario and Bowser, whilst Donkey Kong and Toad never seem to able to make an appearance, because, well, I just have no idea why, that those 2 characters were absent on that particular arcade experience. But even then, though, it kind of feels like it's a similar concept from the likes of, well, in the forms of Mario Kart Live Home Circuit is the fact that the only playable characters you can only play as is either Mario or Luigi, depending on what packs you're going to be purchased. And then, obviously, the majority of the opponents are non-playable is, of course, Bowser Jr. and his Koopaling minions, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, I think I was thinking of the same thing from that. Alright, so let's move on now to the forms of Dino Jungle, and this appears to be a pretty cool track, though, in my opinion. And this track will obviously make its return in Mario Kart 7 in, I would say, in the Lightning Cup. And then recently, Mario Kart Tour just recently bring that stage back in a much more gorgeous art style with stuff like that. So either way, though, that's besides the point. And also because of the fact that since we're used to playing Mario Kart 7 version of this track as well as Mario Kart Tour, there's also a little bit of a shortcut you can take, but it's not recommendable because otherwise, if you're dealing with the actual slippery physics in mind, sometimes it's hard to keep it steady sometimes, unlike in Mario Kart 7 that you can able to be full control at all times. I keep thinking of Mario Kart Tour's version of this track. Yeah, if you manage to hit those little Kaisers, then you will obviously get fluked off. I think that could be also the same applies to the Mario Kart 7 actually, when you're able to come across into a Kaiser, basically you would be able to get flinged up. Whilst compared to, for whatever reason, in Mario Kart Tour, just managed to let us perform a trick, while simply able to actually get hit, or get touched by those Kaisers, which I'm not exactly sure why that's how it presents. But either way, though, it still is a nice little track, regardless of such. But yeah, that's as far as I can usually just try to say about this, honestly, because either way, though, there's not much else to say. Well, apart from the fact that, well, usually relatively speaking, Luigi, is the fact that since after all we are still practically going to be doing 2 cups per video, just because we don't feel like just trying to go for one particular cup within multiple parts, because otherwise it'll become a little bit more tedious and stuff like that, as far as I'm trying to concern with that stuff. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for this point too is the fact that one of the YouTube commenters saying about the fact that during our let's just say in Mario Party 1, let's just say in Bowser's Magma Mountain, basically is the fact that one of the YouTube commenters did say about the fact that, have you ever seen Rick and Morty? Well, turns out I've never actually watched it, but I've heard of it, and also because if you couldn't tell already, it's the fact that during in Season 8, in My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, by the way, which is of course Granny's Gone Wild, I think that's what the episode is called. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because it usually takes place in Viva Las Pegasus kind of location, inspired by Las Vegas or something. But either way though, is the fact that it does have a really cool cameo of Rick and Morty during in pony fight form, which I think it does look pretty cool, even though I'm not able to get my chance to able to watch it. Although I did watch a bit of it, the only thing it was actually worth noting for is the fact that the only episode we've only seen in terms of Rick and Morty is the fact that it shows us the actual, well, let's just say Berserk Field or something like that, you know, with that particular weird, you know, Garfield kind of cartoon thing that just usually popped up along with that particular stuff. Yeah, and I think that's actually pretty hilarious, actually. Anyways, now let's move on to Bowser's Castle, specifically the GameCube's Bowser's Castle. And, oh boy, this brings me back a lot of memories. Yeah, especially, it almost kind of reminds me of something related to Mario Kart Wii version of this particular Bowser's Castle, particular selections of tracks. However, though, is the fact that, well, obviously we don't need to deal with the actual trick system. And also, rather than having lava outside the castle, instead, although there might be still some lava involved inside, so in this case, it's the fact that we need to once again dodge those flops, just like in any other Bowser Castle levels, basically. So, not much differences from there, apart from the fact that now we need to avoid a lot more hazards, mainly with the forms of, well, a lot of lava, as well as these fireballs, and the most devastating thing of them all is the fact that if you ever watched our Let's Play of Mario Kart Wii back in 2017, there's actually going to be a ginormous Bowser statue, which is going to be able to breathe fire at you. Usually depending on 2 different pathways that he might spit out. There's also a shortcut you can take, but you need to get a little bit more speed. But regardless of such though, is the fact that since we did manage to fail, or maybe it's because our speed or acceleration wasn't exactly nearly as high, I don't think. But then again though, is the fact that it has been donkey's years since we last played this. Because obviously we're used to playing Mario Kart Wii all the time, as well as Mario Kart 7, and even recently Mario Kart 8, or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch 8 either way. Oh sweet, another Starman as a pickup! How nice is that? So that way we can able to instantly just manage to able to destroy, you know, these swamps, and especially those where we can bypass those, you know, those fireballs in between, and, well, not much else to it from here. And obviously, as you can see on screen, we're playing as Wario and Waluigi as a double pair. And obviously, their special item for Wario and Waluigi are the bomb. So even then though, that way you can able to either throw it ahead, or you can able to throw it at the back. So that way you can able to blow up the massive explosion right at these opponents. And we still failed on that particular shortcut, which hopefully by that time, whenever we get onto the higher difficulty ratings, mainly with 100cc or something, we could at least try to able to, God forbid, try to able to get a lucky item, mainly with the mushrooms or something. So yeah, I was thinking about that too. So anyway, now it's the final lap, and hopefully we'll just go ahead and just briefly win through this. Oh boy, whenever we get onto the forms of the actual, the final cup in the entire Let's Play, specifically All Cup Tour, oh boy, it will be a little bit interesting. Especially noticeable how the fact that, as far as you guys should notice, is the fact that since we still got ourselves our default title screen, basically to showcase, or just shows us let's just say 8 main teams or something like that, or to be more specifically, all 16 main characters is on screen. However though, unfortunately we didn't seem to able to get ourselves the alternative title screen. I think the only reason why is because, well, for the love of God, the old cup tour in mirror mode is actually, to me though, is one of the hardest cups in the game. Just because, well, obviously with the forms of the items and stuff like that, and also because most of these courses has been completely flipped and all that jazz. So yeah, that's all I can really doubt it for this point. So we might try to do that on our own time, and then I can able to at least show you guys the alternative title screen or something. But then again though, we'll see what happens until for the majority of this Let's Play itself. So either way though, yeah, that pretty much takes care of Bowser's Castle, even though we might able to revisit that course for time and time again. And now let's move on to the final track in the whole entire game, as well as on the Special Cup, we have, as usual, Rainbow Road. And this particular Rainbow Road is actually probably the most uniquest Rainbow Road we ever seen. Even though, mind you, before when Mario Kart 7 was a thing, basically we actually going through different planet to planet and stuff like that, along with the Rainbow track, which I think is actually pretty cool. Taking a notice from the likes of Mario Kart 8 in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe N64 Rainbow Road. Oh jeez, we almost got a fall off right there. Yeah, to be expected, this is without doubt one of the usual hardest tracks in the whole entire game. Nothing too difficult, all except the spiral section, because I swear, I was getting able to drift along, and then most of the time, I just keep on just messing up with my movements most of the time. But if you ever try to able to play it on 150cc or something like that, oh boy, you're gonna fall off a lot in this particular segment. Thankfully, most of any other segments of this track wasn't all that hard, honestly. It's just the spiral part that gives me any sort of trouble, like whenever first time I play the game. And also, if you couldn't tell already, it's the fact that in the entire background, even from way above the actual city, does that particular city building may be familiar to you? It appears to be some sort of like a mushroom city that we actually going above from the Rainbow Road from, well, it's hard to explain about it. In fact, even then though, it's actually pretty cool. You can able to see the Mushroom City in the entire background. Alongside with that though, Mario, is the fact that much like in Mario Kart 64 Rainbow Road, is the fact that you can able to actually see that particular, well, rainbowy items on screen. Oh sweet, we got ourselves a blue spiny shell, even we're on 3rd place. That's actually pretty smart if you ask me. Yeah, in fact, we rarely got ourselves the blue spiny shell during the films of ourselves, during some corresponding Let's Plays in between. So either way though, enough about that. Oh, is there a star in here? Oh, there was a star in there, which it could definitely be helped. But either way though, unlike in Super Circuit's version of Rainbow Road, where basically every time when a shooting star appears, that it'll try to able to spin you out. But thankfully that's no longer the case in this game, because all it gets if the actual shooting star is actually coming down. The only thing it does manage to pop up now is the Starman itself. So that seems very convincing for the actual parts itself like this. Yeah, it seems pretty cool though, honestly. So either way though, yeah. Anyway, so I'll just toss the green shell from behind. Yeah, sorry for the little bit of an awkward quiet for this point, folks, because I will have to admit, though, this Rainbow Road theme in Mario Kart Double Dash, oh man, is so beautiful. Even likely so for how the fact that I'm very glad that track will make its return during the forms of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and even especially noticeable with Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Wii U, and even recently Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so even then though, I'm very glad that particular track does make a return, because let me tell you, the music is so magnificently beautiful, even more so than as far as you might think. So alright, so I'm guessing that one of those CPU players is now managed to obtain themselves the Starman after all, so I guess that makes it pretty obvious for the sake of the actual items usage or something, or even just trying to, you know, obtain the items or something. So again, I must admit though, I do apologize for that particular dialogue error, because, well, as far as I can talk about. Alright, so let's go ahead and place that banana peel from behind, and we'll just drift along to that particular side over there, and grab the double item boxes as far as you can see on screen. And all we get is just basically just a banana and the green shell in the process, so not much else to it, mind you, but at least it still managed to help us through. Alright, so we're almost there now. It's just we need to do a last little spiral, spiral section, and boom, we're done. Thankfully, this particular track doesn't overstay its welcome, unlike in Mario Kart 64, the original incarnation of that particular track. Because, usually speaking, because that's why they actually bring sections in Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe version of, N64 Rainbow Road. Yeah, I was thought about that as well, so there we go, folks. That concludes 50cc Special Cup, but I think we might able to do one more, for that particular, that's hard to explain. So I digress. So either way though, I guess we'll pretty much get endings off at this point right there, while the award ceremony thing as usually happens. So joining us next time for more of Let's Play of Mario Kart Double Dash is the fact that we are about to be moving on to the final cup in 50cc, which appears to be the All Cup Tour. So this should be pretty exciting, so I'll see you guys on Friday. Yep, later fellas.